often fall down a rabbit hole of looking at pixel art made by online artists, and a lot of the work I find these days is setting such a high bar when it comes to detail and vibrance that I end up wishing these single pieces would be made into full games. Well, I'm happy to report a lot of that work is making it into games, with 2023's releases boasting some of the best pixel art I've ever seen. Let's take a look at a couple, including the stunning stealth Metroidvania shown at the beginning of the video. Let's get into it. A Space for the Unbound reminds me of a Makoto Shinkai film in the ways that it effortlessly captures both the beauty and drama of the story it's telling through its art style. On the surface, it's a slice-of-life love story whose setting is based on 90s era Indonesia. In actuality, it's much more than that. In this roughly 10-hour journey, you'll immerse yourself in breathtaking imagery depicting a small rural town that's found itself en route to a tragic fate. You follow two high school lovers that are forced to bear the literal weight of the world on their shoulders, all while they simultaneously discover more about each other in the process. Buckle up, get ready to be emotionally devastated, and download both the demo and the full game on all platforms. Tiny Thor is exactly how I remember the Game Boy Advance games I played over 2 decades ago looking, when in actuality they look like this. I regularly feature games on this channel that try to capture the retro feel of the past, and Tiny Thor is going down as one of the best attempts yet. Not only does the gameplay look somehow both modern and nostalgic simultaneously, but the graphics feel the exact same way. The pixel art is being done by the legendary artist Henk Nieborg, who has been working on graphics for over 30 years, including on titles like the Shantae franchise. The result is a game with a fun and striking visual identity. The cartoonish Norse art is sure to immerse you in this exciting retro adventure when you check it out on Switch and PC later this year. Great pixel art doesn't always mean beautiful, and Pizza Tower is the perfect example. This game, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all, is absolutely unhinged. I can look at pretty much any clip in this trailer and say, what is going on here? What is that? I'm not sure how an amalgamation of ideas like this comes together, but I'd be lying if I said they didn't pull it off. Very few developers are brave enough to go this bonkers with their entire game, and I respect that. The fact that the art style invokes memories of Rocko's Modern Life and Ren and Stimpy also helps me rationalize what I'm witnessing in the gameplay. If you're looking for a truly, let's say, memorable gameplay experience, you can check out Pizza Tower today on PC. If you just watched this clip and thought, why is he showing this obscure title from the 80s? I'm gonna blow your mind when I tell you that this game was released in January of 2023. 8-Bit Adventures 2 is making a hard push for the Fake Retro Game of the Year award. Unlike most retro-inspired titles today, there is no attempt to modernize the look and feel of this game. For the most part, excluding maybe the vibrance of the colors, this is how games looked back on the SNES. The old school look isn't just a gimmick either. The arts, the enemies, and the locations are really great, and as somebody who played the OG Final Fantasy games which have a very similar vibe, I would have absolutely loved this game back then. Titles like this have so much charm and creativity and heart that I feel compelled to share them so that we can reduce the risk of losing them anytime soon. So do me a favor and check this game out. The full release as well as a demo is available on PC, while the console versions are planned to release later this year. I'm not going to spend too much time on this game because I've talked about it on the channel in other videos, but I couldn't resist the perfect juxtaposition of the last title with Replaced. Replaced is the epitome of modernizing pixel graphics. The latest trailer looks like an adaptation of the most recent Batman film, and I'm totally here for it. This game looks amazing, and I can't wait to hear more about it as we lead up to the release on PC, Xbox, and Game Pass later this year. There are a few more sick looking pixel art games to discuss, but first, make sure you subscribe and like the video for more great indie game content. Okay, I guess it's time for me to admit that my secret agenda in this video is just to make my audience cry, because Meg's Monster is coming for your heartstrings. Meg's Monster is about a little girl who gets lost in the underworld and needs to be taken home. The good news is, you play as a nearly invincible monster who will escort her. The bad news is, even if she cries, the entire world dies. This game aims to deliver a heartwarming narrative alongside a cartoonish yet quite expressive art style. Akin to a title like Undertale, this game leverages every tool at its disposal to tell a compelling story, and leans heavily on visual gags and curveballs to keep the player on their toes. Check the Steam reviews and you'll see how every review talks about how much they cried. I just want you to know what you're in for when you check the demo out on PC and the full game on Xbox, Switch, and PC. Raise your hand if you hate your job. Am I right? Nah, I'm kidding. But this game is actually a commentary about that. Mr. Saitou is about a white-collar worker who is having trouble finding meaning, and at the apex of his problems, he is whisked away to a fantasy world that will change the course of his life forever. Mr. Saitou packs all the feels in a short story that is elevated by some great artwork. There are dozens of wacky characters and situations that will surely force a smile as this game delicately works through some tough themes. Get ready for some topics that hit way too close to home, and check it out right now on PC. Here's a game that you don't see every day. Greedventory is a title where you essentially use your cursor as a sword. You'll need quick reflexes for parrying, slicing, and looting if you want to last long in this world. Okay, sure, so the gameplay is pretty interesting, but I added this game to the list because of its unique art style. It reminds me of the Case of the Golden Idol, which was one of my favorite games last year. Everything looks so crude and harsh, but at the same time captivating, which is kinda a hard feeling to describe, but it's a visual design that I really appreciate. No clue how the actual gameplay will turn out on this one. Hopefully it's as engaging as the art style, but we'll see together when this game releases on PC later this year. Seattle 2023, a city of enduring loneliness. Ouch. As a current resident of Seattle, I had to throw Coffee Talk episode 2 in here. As a barista in the rainy city, you will serve coffee to both human and mythical patrons while chatting them up on a personal level. Sometimes you just need to slow things down a bit, and Coffee Talk is the perfect avenue for that. Although the setting won't change much, the diverse customers that walk through the door provide just enough space for Toga Productions to stretch their artistic muscles. If you're like me and are confined to the house by the unrelenting rain of your city, try relaxing in the moment by playing Coffee Talk episode 2, available on all consoles. Without any words, the trailer for the Siege and The Sandfox quickly sells you on the premise of a gorgeous pixelated Assassin's Creed game that you never thought to ask for. It's a 2D stealth Metroidvania that leans on parkour as the preferred mode of transportation and a desert city as the backdrop. The result of these choices results in an immersive, fast-paced adventure through atmospheric caves and ancient architecture. For some reason, despite the success of titles like Assassin's Creed and The Prince of Persia, we quickly abandoned the Middle Eastern locations and games, and the cultural imagery and music were lost along with it. I appreciate the Siege and the Sandfox bringing us back to these settings, and I can't wait to screenshot every level when it drops on PC later this year. And there we are, 10 indie games with first-class pixel art. And also, while we're here, check out Octopath Traveler 2 as well. It has some of the best visuals I've seen in a minute. And you know what? Why don't you check this video out as well?